Hello, Gaz Williams here, and in this quick video we're going to be taking a look at one of the most unique features of the Medusa, which is the hybrid synthesizer from Polyend and Dreadbox. Polyend provide the main thing really, Dreadbox provide the analog circuitry, because it is a hybrid synthesizer, 3 analog oscillators, 3 digital oscillators. We're not going to get too stuck into that sort of thing in this video, because what I want to explore is this really interesting use of the grid. We could use this as a 64-step sequencer, and that's what we're going to kind of do, but we're going to do it in a peculiar way. Now, if I was to press play, we can see the light is advancing through our 64 steps, but I'm going to press stop. I don't want the sequence to actually run. So I'm going to go into my grid mode. Now, I've got a blank grid here, and I'm also going to engage record. Now, I can pick a square, and any square, this blank grid. Let's just start with, say, this square up here. Okay, as I hold it down, I could give it a note. A. So now nothing else plays apart from the A. This is something that's quite interesting. If I was to then run the sequence, you'd have nothing playing until the sequence, oh, there it goes. But we're not running the sequence because we're going to use this as a way of actually creating note clusters. We're going to basically shape every note. So this one is just made up of a single oscillator. Let's add a few more. Let's make it a chord by changing the pitches. These are the 3 analog oscillators. Right, just a very simple chord there made out of 3 sawtooths. In the next square, this one here, let's actually copy this. So the way I copied it is I just pressed and held it and then hit a new square and it automatically copied it. That's because we got the record flashing. If I take record out, then I can play that without copying them. But anyway, I'm going to go back to record, and we've got 2 identical chords here, but I'm going to change the root of this one. This does get interesting as we start to build these, and I'm going to fill up these 4 squares here. I've got these 4 squares. Let's just change all the pictures of these. You can see where I'm going with this a little bit. I've got my 4 squares and I've got 4 different chords, but let's make the chords a bit more interesting. Now, you start to notice something. Each one of these sounds can have a completely different set of parameters set to them. So, we were just changing pitches there, but let's try making this one, which is all made of saws. Let's make this one all out of squares. We can see them change. Saw, square. And let's make this one triangles. It's kind of playing as a monophonic instrument. We've got our play mode here set to mono, and that's what we're going to keep it in for the whole of this little thingy that I'm doing now. So I can only ever play one sort of square at a time. Of course, the triangle sounds very, very kind of soft compared to the brightness. But let's take off some brightness off that. Let's see if we can do something interesting with it. Haha! Now, let's give it some release. So I come to my envelopes. Now there's loads of modulation on this thing. There is 5 LFOs and there are 5 envelopes, and each one of these envelopes can be set to loop, which essentially turns them into LFOs. So this thing has got lots and lots and lots of modulation capabilities, but I'm just keeping it quite simple for the moment. I'm just going to set the releases a bit longer on these notes, so when I let go here, like so. So we've got a bunch of chords up there. Let's make some sort of percussion sounds down here, just out of interest. So I'm going to pick this one here, and I give it like a note. But I'm going to take all of the oscillators out, and I'm just going to add some noise. So here I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of decay. Can keep this really super simple. Okay. So let's make something a bit more like a kick now on this one. 2-pole to 4-pole. Let's give it a little bit more. A bit more release on there. It's a little bit too much pitch in there for my liking. It's not that drum-like, but it'll do for the moment. So you can see as I'm starting to build up this peculiar array of sounds, you can kind of think of it almost like there's a different preset on each square. Now, I'm going to make some more notes across here. So let's take this square and let's give it a... Okay, so what do I want the sound to be? Let's put all 6 oscillators in now. That's the 3 analog ones and the 3 digital ones. Okay, so things get really cool now. Give it a bit of release. Okay, all the oscillators are now playing sawtooths. That's a bit of noise in there too. Let's change some octaves. Digital, let's take them down. So that's how I've taken out the analog ones, so these are just the digital ones. And as I scroll through the waveforms on the digital one, after you get through the 4th one, the 5th click actually takes you to a wavetable. So let's just play that single oscillator there, take the noise out. Haha. And I can move through the wavetable with the wavetable control. If I press the button here, I can come down to wavetable, and I've got, how many is there now? 64 different wavetables. The wavetables aren't named, so it really is a bit of potluck. So you can find a wavetable, have a little scan through it, and yes, you can modulate the wavetable as well, where in the wavetable we are. That's pretty cool. So in fact, let's do that. Let's just kind of make that really fast, moving through the wavetable, give it a mount. Now, I can change the waveform, which I can smoothly morph the waveform of the LFO. Let's make it slower so you can hear that. See, square is just going between the 2 values there. If I go smooth, it's more like a sine. Let's go really slow now. So our sound is starting to move through the wavetables. Now you may have noticed this Electro-Harmonix Memory Man with Hazarai here, which if I turn it up, because no built-in effects in the Medusa, and that's something you do pine for effects. It really needs effects really to get the most out of it. So just going through this this effects pedal gives us a little bit of it's a bit bright, that one, isn't it? So this sound here, let's make all of the digital oscillators do something quite interesting. And I'm going to put some LFOs on here. I'm going to hold this one, give it a wiggle, give this one a wiggle, and give this one a wiggle. So now turn them all on. And let's turn the amounts up on all of them. Can be synced to the sequencer clock. Now, we're not actually running the sequencer here, but if I turn sync on, I can set what rates each one of these kind of work at. Let's just take these analog oscillators out here. So when we play it, okay, so one, let's turn sync on all of these three LFOs. Okay, now let's copy this one. I mean, this thing is a bonkers synth. It really is unlike anything else out there. Let's get the delay back on though. Let's get that tap. Okay, I'm just going to stop it there. Okay, so I've been Gaz Williams. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at the peculiar synthesizer that is the Medusa. I mean, whew, you know, it really is something that you can do all sorts of unique things with. And I think Polyend, I mean, we know Dreadbox super cool, but Polyend have got lots of tricks up their sleeve. So keep an eye out for Polyend's new little box of tricks that's called the Tracker, because that's going to be something very special indeed. Well, as is the Medusa. Anyway, I'm Gaz Williams. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.